We're now joined by Hofstra head coach Shannon Smith following your team's 17-11 win over Connecticut. Coach, if you could give us an opening statement about today's win, please.
Yeah, obviously just really exciting to be back out there on the field. Exciting to be back in our home stadium and to get win number 2 of the season. I thought our team played better than what we did in our first game, and I think it's we're starting to get back in the flow of playing in lacrosse games and getting our IQ back up from being off for so long. So I know we're just excited to be out there and playing every day with one another and getting better.
Shannon, before we open up for questions, if you could obviously comment on Alyssa Perella and the breaking the CA goals record and your thoughts there.
Tremendous accomplishment. Just really super excited for Alyssa. I think that record's been around for 19 years or so. And for Alyssa to do that is just outstanding. And I think the most impressive thing about Alyssa is, there's a couple of things, but I think speaking just strictly as a player, she has just gotten tremendously better each year. And anytime that we give her something to focus on that year to get better with, she does. I think the months off helped her to get her body healthy and to feel super fresh, for season. And I think Alyssa just makes everyone else around her better. You can see from our offensive stat sheets how many people we have been scoring, and how much offensive production that we have. And that's because of Alyssa and the effort that she gives and how she makes everyone else around her better and how she elevates everyone's game. But she's a dynamic finisher, and I couldn't be more proud and happy for Alyssa to have that record. It's not easy to do, especially in the CAA during conference games. Our conference is super tough, and she's had a battle and a lot of different defenses thrown at her since her freshman year. So really impressive and a tremendous accomplishment by Alyssa.
Again, if you have questions for Shannon, please use the raise your hand feature, and we will start with Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
Hi, Coach Eddie Fitz, Mardolo, can you? Thank you. Hi, Coach Eddie Fitz, WRHU. At the beginning of the first half, it was a very strong start from you guys. And at the beginning of the second half, it was a very strong start from you guys. But you called a timeout a couple minutes in, and that's when you guys really started to pull away from the game. You picked up a couple more goals, and the defense sort of started to stand pat. What was the decision, and what did you kind of talk the team through during that first timeout in the second half?
Yeah, I kind of regret taking the timeout. I thought Alexa was going to get checked. I should trust her more running the ball in that position. But I think leading up to that point, our offense was on a roll. And our halftime in the locker room, we really discussed how we were getting a lot of shots. We just weren't finishing the shots and shooting the ball hard enough. And I think we had a couple of snipes there in the second half coming out, which was really exciting. And our defense has been doing a really great job in the midfield, coming down and creating offense through our 2-man games and our slow break opportunities. So, and we put Katie Whalen a little bit higher in the offense to give her more room to be able to dodge. So it was nice to see that flow and us having our heads up and moving the ball well.
Our next question will be Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hi, Coach. Andrew Mardolo here from WRHU. So, Coach, you mentioned halftime adjustments. Talk about the defensive adjustments that your team made from the first half to second half. Because at the end of that first half, a lot of goals were coming by and coming past the goalkeeper. But second half, all of a sudden, this defense looked like a completely different animal.
Yeah, I think that we took for granted that our one rod that we were running, was working. We were creating turnovers there in the second half. UConn made a great adjustment in their clearing game, which they got 3 fast break goals on us. So we would definitely like to have those back. Then we made our adjustment. And I think number 11 was doing a really great job at dodging against. Our game plan was to send the slide early on her, and we just weren't doing that on defense. So we were able to kind of regroup ourselves there at halftime, and the defense really started to understand setting that slide early. And I thought that we did a much better job with that to contain that in the second half and to not allow her to score goals.
Our next question will be from Gene. Go ahead, Gene.
Hey, Coach. So obviously the first half was a lot of Alyssa, but in the second half, I think you had 5 different goal scorers in the first 5 goals you scored. How key is that going to be moving forward, even just as to kind of relieve the pressure a little bit from Alyssa from defenses once you guys get into conference play?
It's going to be huge. Like I said, Alyssa, really elevates the the game for everyone else around her and really pushes everyone else to be better. I think Alyssa has a lot of fortitude throughout all of her experiences in the different defenses. We thought UConn was going to come out in man, and they came out in zone, and our team was prepared for that. We put up some quick goals, and then they went back into man on us. And I think Alyssa really carried our team in the first half, was getting a lot of scoring opportunities, and the ball was in her stick. She was finishing. And then I think in the second half, we had a lot more transition, and we were able to move the ball pretty quick down there and score some goals. And we opened it up for everyone else, which was really great. So it was really nice to see, and it was really nice to see in our first game as well. And we're excited to have this many goal scorers on our stat sheet.
Our next question will be from Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
Hi, Coach. Danny DiCrescenzo from WRHU. You guys got off to as perfect a start as one could possibly imagine. You really buried UConn early with a flurry of quick goals. You stopped them from getting the ball on the opposite side of the field for a good stretch of the first half. And it was very clear that when UConn started to weather the storm, that having the early lead allowed you guys to adjust and make the moves necessary to keep the lead and ultimately win the game. So going forward, what's going to be the mentality for you guys in terms of trying to get teams to back off early and really get off to great starts going forward?
Honestly, I just think it's our team getting more games underneath our belt. We haven't played, right? Our first game was this past Wednesday, 343 days from our first game. So even our fifth-year seniors that are on the team and seniors, it's just getting back into that flow of playing. And thank God we have a lot of that experience on our team. But I think that our team needs to start learning how to play with leads. We had that lead. We had a big lead against St. Joseph's. We had a big lead against UConn today. And I think our team just has to learn how to play better with those leads. I think in the middle of that first half, we had a couple of turnovers in our clear and a couple of mistakes in our ride, which caused for some fast break goals. So just think that we have to tighten up. And we'll get back to the drawing board on Monday and watch film, get better, and then start preparing for Army.
We'll have two more questions. First one will be from Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
Hey, Coach.
Kenny.
I know it seems like this year anyway, continuity is going to be the name of the game, at least in the beginning. Compared to many other teams in the conference, you guys have so much veteran leadership back for what's an unexpected fifth year. Can you just tell me a little about how much that continuity means to maybe some of the younger players on the team and why that might be an edge for you guys moving forward?
It's huge because, at practice, if I'm doing something else, and the offense is in a huddle, I can trust Alyssa's in that huddle telling the offense exactly what would be coming out of my mouth to the offense in the offensive huddle. So I think it's just really key for us, on the field, to have that second coach in the huddle with Alyssa. You got Alexa, who is leading our midfield. She's just been doing an unbelievable job, both ends of the field. And then you have that fifth-year veteran leadership from Darcy in the defensive huddle. And you have the other seniors with Shannon Boyle and Sabrina Cristodero down there. So it's really great to have that. And especially with Alyssa, Darcy, and Alexa being captains for so many years in our program and knowing our culture and our expectations, it really helps us and it helps guiding the younger kids. It was great to see Carrie Walser score her first goal in the midfield. We're going to expect a lot from her this year. And Alexa's been doing a great job mentoring her and sophomore Kate Fiola. And Alexa's just been doing a great job mentoring them. And Alyssa just has a very high standard for the offense. And it's really great because we're seeing so much confidence from them now, stepping up. And Grace Langella has been playing great. Ariana Esposito for us. And Katie Whalen. So it's really great to see the flow starting to come together each game. I can see us getting better and better.
And our last question for Shannon before we head to Alyssa be from Andrew from WRHU.
Coach Andrew Mardolo again here from WRHU. Really quick, in a week from today, you guys will be up at West Point taking on Army. How do you prepare your team for that matchup coming up?
Well, that starts with me getting off this Zoom and watching the Army game that's happening right now against St. Joseph's. But I think, watching that game today, obviously, taking the time tonight and tomorrow to watch this game over, get the corrections down that we need to on both sides of the field, and then our clear and transition, watching film with the team on Monday, getting better, correcting our mistakes, focusing on us, and then turning it over to Army. So we're prepared. I think they went 7-0 last year. They're a very, very well coached team. So we're excited for the challenge ahead of us, and we're excited to get better next week as a team and to play Army next weekend.
Shannon, thank you. If you could put Alyssa in front of the Zoom now, we'll move on. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Hello. Oh my God.
Hi,
so
Alyssa.
short.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? Oh,
We are now joined by Hofstra senior Alyssa Perella. Alyssa, obviously a big game today, 7 goals, 1 assist, and you broke the CA all-time record for goals. If you could comment on that and your thoughts.
obviously it's a very honoring and humbling experience. I think that coming back and being able to accomplish something like that, it really does mean a lot to me. But all in all, I think I just feel more fortunate being able to be back here for my 5th year more than ever, playing out with my teammates right now and being able to go 2-0 in the first 2 games of our season is just means more to me than anything. So.
And well, if you have questions for Alyssa, please use the raise your hand feature. We'll start with Kenny from US Lacrosse. Kenny, go ahead.
Hey, Alyssa. So we spoke probably literally about this time last year about just you approaching all of these records and kind of your beginnings in Miller Place. You know, so this was quite literally a very long time coming for you, longer than even maybe you anticipated. Can you just kind of walk me through the, I don't know, 24 or 48 hours after the season ended so prematurely and what went into your decision making, maybe how fast you came to the decision to come back and pursue all these things?
Yeah, so actually I out of the 3 of us, out of me, Darcy, and Alexa, I was the last one to decide to come back. I just wanted to figure out what was the best for me in the long run, and knowing them 2 are coming back, I couldn't give up the opportunity to play with them again. So I made my decision, and I kind of from there took Shannon's advice and kind of got myself mentally and physically relaxed and just kind of did my own thing for the time being. And then when season was approaching and the fall was coming, I kind of got myself back into shape. So I think the off time really did help me kind of like focus on what I wanted to do and how I wanted to accomplish moving forward. So I think the biggest thing was just mentally and physically getting myself prepared for the fall season and then again in the spring season.
Our next question will be from Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, this is Andrew Mardolo from WRHU. So when you're out there, you put on a performance like this. First of all, of course, not only do you get the record, but you get a 7-goal game today. I mean, what do you see from the defense out there that allows you to kind of take over the game the way you did?
Honestly, their defense was absolutely incredible. They were a really tough team. They were quick, fast, strong. They were a really great team. UConn played very well today, but I honestly think that our offense moved great and we worked really well together today. And I think that's what really got myself open. They were moving the ball. Our offense has been working really hard together. And just from last year, the confidence on our offensive side between Grace Langella, Kitty Whale, and Ariana, the 3 of them have grown tremendously on the offensive side of the field. And because they become such threats on that offensive side of the field, it kind of gives me more opportunities to kind of let them do their thing. And defense now has to focus on them just as much. And I think that's the biggest thing right now is they're becoming more threats, and it's huge and it helps me a lot.
Our next question will be from Jesse. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hi, Alyssa. Alyssa Lindell from Hofstra Chronicle. Obviously, you have a lot of records in program and CAA history. Is there one thing throughout your time at Hofstra so far that stands out above all else?
I don't really know. I guess that's kind of a tough question. I am not really someone who focuses on stats or looks at the paper stuff. I mean, I get handed the stats at the end of the game and I don't really look at them. I think my biggest thing is after a game, I look to move forward and see how I can improve in the next game. So again, shooting percentage probably pretty low today. So I think I need to work on that. But other than that, just being out there on the field right now has been the biggest thing. And obviously through the pandemic and everything going on, I just feel more in the moment and more focused on just getting every game in and playing my hardest out in the field. And right now is probably the most confident and most rewarding I feel is just getting the opportunity to be here again and not necessarily focusing on the other stuff. I came back to win a CA championship and go back into get into the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of where my focus is with this team right now.
Our next question will be from Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
And that leads me into exactly my question. Hi, Alyssa. Eddie Fitz, WRHU. And at this point last season, all the talk was JMU. We got to get back there. We have to beat JMU. That is the goal. and now it's been a whole year in the making. How anticipated are you guys for that? It's almost 2 months away. Are you guys taking it one day at a time? Or are you guys still comparing yourself, putting yourself into that echelon with JMU, trying to size up that matchup?
No, I think we're definitely taking it one day at a time. And I think that's what's different from this year and last year is we're taking every moment we can and making it the best that we can. Taking in the 2-0 record we have right now, but then tomorrow we will be focusing on Army and going up there next weekend. So I think that it's really important for us to take it one step at a time. And once we get to CA conferences, we'll take it at that point and we'll run with it. But right now we're just focusing on ourselves and how we can get better for the next game.
Our next question will be from Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
It's kind of funny to ask this question after just talking to Coach about continuity and how things are the same, but is there a different feeling around this team, maybe compared to years past, as far as confidence or talent level, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you do look at the stat sheet and you see the amount of goal scorers we have. I cannot be more proud of our offense right now. Just the leadership that they have, and kind of like being a fifth year, you kind of have that pressure of like people are going to ask you so many questions and be like, kind of looking for you for guidance. But at the same time, like there are so many leaders on that offensive side of the field that we've never had before. And they've just been so tremendous on that field and they've become lethal goal scorers. And between the middies and the defenders right now, like I've never seen such leadership on this field throughout everyone. We have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors all working together and kind of calling each other out, holding each other accountable throughout practices and throughout games. And I just think that's really important. It doesn't matter what age you are in this team. We're all holding each other accountable and we're all playing to the highest level.
Our final two questions, we'll go to Dan.
Hi, Alyssa. Danny Dickerson from WRHU. When it comes to your leadership and your confidence and your poise, how do you translate those individual traits from yourself to your teammates every time you sit there on the field and practicing games?
I think the biggest thing is just working my hardest at practice every day. I try to play every practice as if I'm in a game. And I think that I value kind of leading by example in my sense. We do have captains such as Darcy and Shannon Boyle, who are such good vocal leaders, and they really push each other and hold each other accountable and hold others accountable. And I think I've always been more of that quieter captain who wanted to lead by example. And I feel like that's my best way to portray it to everyone else on the team. So I always hope that pushing myself at practice every day will make others push themselves even harder and make each other better.
And our last question will be from Andrew. Go ahead, Andrew.
Listen, Andrew, again, one more time here. So in terms of this whole day for you now, I know you probably sit back, you'll probably think, wow, this is such a fantastic feat. How long is it going to take you now to, let it sink in? And then what are your steps after that for you and your team with Army coming up next weekend?
I definitely think it's really important for us to take in the win and just feel everyone's accomplishments and pat everyone on the back who had great games today. Everyone worked so hard today, and we never want to degrade that or just completely forget that, because it's really important to keep everyone's confidence up and keep that motivation and that momentum going. But I also think it's important for us to take all the little things that we maybe missed out there or the little mistakes that happen and really focus on changing that moving forward, because UConn was a great team and they really fought hard. And we did not play a perfect game. And I think that that's something that we really have to take to heart too, and kind of moving forward. Army is a really great team. And again, we're looking to watch them as they're playing their game right now and kind of pick up ways that we can beat them leading into next week. So I just think right now, like taking the win, and we're excited about it and we're really happy. Everyone was going crazy in the locker room. So I just think right now taking in the win is important, but then back to the drawing board tomorrow.
Alyssa, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.